Hello there, this is Bic Benedict. We're playing Resident Evil 4, and this is Assignment Ada. It will be the second of my two-part series for this campaign, and it will be playlisted, so they'll have just two videos, which is usually acceptable to me. I mean, a playlist, it seems kind of redundant to have a playlist with only one video, but I think some other series I've done have had two videos. But this video will have all of the 5 Plaga pickups, as well as the Krauser boss fight. The Krauser boss fight, he's the easiest he's ever been. I destroyed him in 2 seconds. He's simple. I died once to him to try to learn him, and there's really nothing to learn because if you take what you know from Leon's campaign and also her Ada's campaign in separate ways, for which I have a playlist, although these won't be unprivatized for a couple more weeks just because I have to stagger the uploads to make sure that there's a video for everybody per day. But the reason that attaché case is open right there is because I was running around here trying to find my way. But all of the pickups for the samples are on your map. They're represented by stars on the map, and then when you get one, it's crossed off. Like there's a line through the star. So this actually is interesting here. It introduces you to the concept of needing storage space to carry non-essential items. For instance, can you imagine having to have storage space for like the spinels and all the pocket watches and the beer steins and the masks that you found in the campaign? No, it's kind of ridiculous, but here it makes sense because it's a really self-contained section with her, and since you're free to use so much ammo, you almost have to be wasteful with the ammo here, because what happens is if you run out of space for those samples, which you need 10 squares in total, so that's going to reduce your space a little bit because each of the 5 samples takes 2 slots. But I had no issues. The only issue I had was coming up on items and having to discard items so frequently. But these guys take quite a few hits to take down, and we're coming up on the second sample here. It's in the hands of this man here who had a key card on Leon's campaign. But when you take that, it's going to spawn some enemies. I think 3 of them. So you see how anal retentive I am right here. I had to press start and make sure they're all facing up. I'm not completely crazy about the inventory management, but I do like to have things in the right direction. So I think we have one more guy, and grenades are very helpful on this campaign, as they always are. Very good. But those are the only ones on her campaign. There are no red or blue ones. So I think this DLC I liked, or this campaign I liked it least of all. But I think just because of the brevity of it, it made it feel like it didn't have much to it. And revisiting this island, I didn't like it. I've never liked the island to begin with. Now this is a hard fight because if you don't move your location here, you're going to be attacked from 3 sides here. So the best thing to do is to just take care of that guy first, and then run over here, turn around, and then have your back facing this direction so that nobody can sneak up on you, because they completely pincer you here, and it's pretty rough if you don't know what's going on. Even when you do know what's going on, sometimes it can be pretty difficult. And there is no shotgun for her, so that was always my default weapon to deal with the shield enemies. But now without it, it just seems like the handgun is something you wouldn't use for that, and it also seems kind of wasteful to use the TMP on those guys. But look at this guy lurking down the hall. So sometimes these guys scare me. And I think that guy has his model. He has one of the faces of the villagers, but now he's obviously pretty upgraded with that spiked vest on. So coming in here now, I think we have, what, 2 of the samples, and then this room here, there's going to be a couple of enemies to take care of. All of these enemies you can shoot from other rooms if you want to, but I decided to just to take care of these enemies here, and then what I'm going to do is, I mean, you kind of have to prioritize this guy with the machine gun, but he's not going to aggro until you fire a shot down here, and you can shoot right through the window, and he takes 4 headshots with this weapon. And I think the reason he didn't fall over here because I missed one of them. But 4 should do it. See, there's number 4, and he's down. Watch out, get away from that window though, because of the guys with the flaming arrows. They've hit me a couple of times here. And then you have a choice here of standing on top of the ladder and knifing enemies. But it's a little unsafe with projectile guys lurking around, so it's... And I think there's a dynamite thrower. So I heard the fizz of that dynamite right here. I think right over here. So I used the iframes. I had to pick that up real quick, but I knew I was up for safety right there. But I just love the iframes in this game. It's great. It's great knowing that you're safe by doing a certain action. The reason I picked that plant up right there was because in my haste, I just wanted to get to the elevator. I didn't want anything to screw up my ascent right there. So we'll consult the map and then try to find our bearings over here, or get our bearings, excuse me. So I would say if you're doing no damage, it's just don't even save the herbs. I thought there would be some kind of merchant the way there usually is, but there isn't on this time. So this room is potentially pretty hard. When you hit the switch, you're going to summon some more of these enemies over here from the right. And there's quite a lot of them, if memory serves. It's just pleading with you to use a grenade right there. I've heard that there is a hardcore mod for this version, but I'll never play mods because I don't like them. So that's that, I guess. And as far as the E3 thing that I was saying last time, a couple of announcements they did arouse in me some kind of an interest, but I think I had kind of some tunnel vision going on because the whole time I was just saying, okay, so when are they going to announce God of War 4? And or anything. I mean, I would have been. What else did I want to see? I mean, they're obviously not going to announce any kind of Ninja Gaiden in this day and age, unless it's, some part of the after show, because it's not high profile enough, and it's only appealing to a niche community of players, which is unfortunate. Okay, so this is where they were holding up Ashley before, and now it holds a sample for us. So this is sample number I think it's 3. Yeah, it has to be number 3, because you get one from the boss, and there's one coming up in this refrigerated area up here, which I would love to be in because I'm yet again dripping with sweat. And I'm drinking water, then the water's warm. And I hate that. Because I fill it with cold water, and then 10 minutes later it's all warm. This room is a little difficult, only because it requires preparedness on your sake, and bad angles and just slow aiming make it harder than you might expect it to be. So what you need to realize over here is that after you kill these foes, you're going to attempt, you will attempt to open the door. It will say it's locked. You'll get a cutscene, which I've left in, and you need to sprint to the part under the stairs, because you've got a maniac shooting a machine gun up there, and unfortunately he actually starts moving. So you can kill all of these guys traditionally. There's been, I think this took me 3 times, and the one time, there was only one time, where this happened, where there's one guy left. So just take him out. Make sure you actually kill him, take him down, make sure he falls to the floor. Switch to this, and he'll start moving as soon as the last guy's killed. So if you can just get a bunch of bullets into him, I think 5 body shots will kill him, but we already know 4 headshots will. And then it's just a matter of capitalizing on the fact that he has to go down the stairs, and while he's doing that, he's not firing. So use your TMP because it's pretty powerful, and that will be a good way of finishing this guy off. And you don't get a checkpoint over here, so if you get hit by a dynamite throw, you're dead. Permanently. Not permanently, but you know what I mean. So just also remember that anytime an enemy who's on an opposite side of the door gets hit by a door that you kick open, they receive damage. But I think we've all been in that position where we've kicked open a door, the enemy was out of our range, and before we could get moving, we saw a spiked mace getting hit towards us, and it's pretty bad. But the next two enemies are going to be in this room, and kind of out of an ode to the last scenario where we had enemies throwing dynamite with an alternating garage door closing down later in the campaign with Leon. Same deal applies right there. There's just two of them, and make sure you hit the dynamite, and then we'll be moving on to one of the last areas in the campaign. There's frequent checkpoints. I think that's what they're doing to make up for the fact that there's no typewriter. I don't know why there's no typewriter. It doesn't make any sense, because even though it's pretty brief, some people like me, you just want to play for 15 minutes. You don't want to play the whole campaign. But anyway, there are, I think, 3 waves over here, and they give you a lot of ammunition over here, so it pretty much signifies that there's going to be a big battle going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the exploding canister on the last wave just to deal with one of the heavies that runs at you. And you can use it at any wave, but just realize that you only get one use of it. So 3 shield enemies will spawn when you get this sample in the middle of the room, and what I'm going to do was I'm going to make a break for it, but I'm not going to shoot. Oh, I'm not going to make a break for it. I don't want to get anywhere near that canister, so I accidentally shoot it. But this will be the next wave. And if you want to, you can take out all of these guys by standing at the end of the hall by the security console, which is out of this room and to the left. Like, it's hard to tell directions when I keep moving, but I wouldn't waste it, because it's just 3 guys, and they group up in such a way that you can get multiple headshots and kill people simultaneously. So the next thing you're going to do is to go over here, activate this, and then this spawns more enemies. This guy's kind of creepy, lurking at the end of the hall, but if you just get a headshot into him and then run back, don't bother to reload because it'll take too much time, and just shoot all these guys in the kneecaps when they lose their shields, so that they're all see, you don't want to have them all too close to you and running when you need to use this to kill him. But kill it. Does it kill him? No, it just puts him at the brink of death, and it's just a little finishing up process. But there's more enemies. Yeah, he always drops that, and as you can see, we've ran out of space, but the drops are pretty fruitful over here, and just a couple more guys, so it's not too bad, actually, not too bad at all. And then we'll fight Krauser. So I think you'll see me having a grenade on to stagger him, but I think it's like 4 hits. He I could have just ignored. Sometimes ignoring an enemy is for the best, but I'll have to count to see how many hits it is. So all you need to do is just ready the knife and crouch, and then when he's running at you, hit his legs to drop him, and then hit his face to stun him, and then that'll cause him to do his repeating process. So knees, face, and he's gone. 4 hits. That's all it took. That's the boss of the campaign, and that's the entirety of the campaign. There's the 5th sample. He had it the whole time, and no real reason to get these, because all we need to do is call for the chopper, and once we do, we will be finished with this campaign. And irritatingly, the software crashed when I completed it, so I was worried that Fraps would have screwed up, but it was okay. It didn't jeopardize anything, but I didn't get to see any of the unlocks save for the Chicago typewriter. So take care.